Make it clap for me.
I'm loose. I said I'm loose, baby.
Heidi ho, neighborinos. Jimmy Spice checking in with $2 Tony. $2 got some new artwork today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This was a very kind gesture.
We thought that you needed something to, prove that you are who you say you are.
Look, my name rings bells in the streets. I stand on business. If you don't buy into my shit, then you probably just haven't talked to the right people, I would say.
So you got here and you said that you were feeling rambunctious.
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to know what rambunctious means. I want to know what got you there.
It's your first time hearing that word.
Well, I want to know what it means to you.
I'm in the mood to do some lighthearted bullying, cajoling.
Cajoling, okay.
Yeah.
I like cajoling. That's a good word.
Mess around.
Yeah, some prolific cajoling.
Yeah. I know our video guy doesn't have time for it anymore because he just ate like a small family's worth of Wendy's.
Oh, man. On the way here.
He's just sighing. He's just going, oh, like every 3 minutes. This is my thing, dude.
Well,
eating a big meal in the middle of the day when you still have shit to do is psychotic. Okay.
It's like, well,
you're a tribesman. We're all hunter gatherers. Yeah. This is like 99% of our evolution. You're not programmed to eat the wildebeest at 2 p.m.
No.
You're supposed to be like, I'm out hunting and now I got my food and now I'm going to rest, okay? I'm eating and now I'm resting.
Yeah.
See, he's going to be fucking burping through the whole show, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's part of the new soundtrack. Maybe that's the new
like that.
Opening. It's just burps. Wendy's burps.
People need to get control of the digestive functions.
I don't eat in the middle of the day. I don't eat very early either sometimes, but I think when the heat is out,
definitely not.
Yeah, man, because your blood's trying to keep you cool, man. It can't be trying to digest food as well, too.
This is when I've worked like construction jobs or doing landscaping.
Can't eat in the middle of the day.
No, but what I'm saying, the Mexican laborers that I've worked with, or Latino laborers, I don't know. There's all kinds of different Latinos here in Tampa. I love them. They're great people. Mm-hmm. But they'll eat like the mamacita will make them like a lunchbox just full of delicious savory pork and rice and stuff, and they munch it, and then they take like a 20-minute siesta nap like in the shade of the 7-Eleven, and then they're right back at it. And I'm like, y'all are built very differently for me. I can't do that.
Well, what I've noticed more working with them is they eat super heavy in the morning and lots of carbs in the morning.
See, that's wild, man.
Well, they're called carbohydrates. They actually help you hold moisture. So it's a good idea.
That's true.
It's a good idea to eat oats or even like rice or something early in the morning when you work in construction. Fruit's really good.
You got to keep, sorry to do this on camera, but when you're like turning to look at people, do it this way so your mouth is still on the mic.
See, I knew
because that's the only issue at the Iggy episode is that there's parts where you're
I knew this layout was
quiet.
an issue. You said I had a king complex. I always had to be at the head of the table, but I knew that if I had to keep looking at people
You're
like
doing
this,
great at it now. Just keep the mic in mind.
So just keep doing that. Just pretend this is my
it's your
favorite.
best. It's your best girl, and you never want to stop kissing her.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you to leave the room if you keep belching like that, dude. It's disgusting.
We are.
He just put down an Oreo milkshake.
We did some dodgeball today, dude. Who won the dodgeball? Our snack of all trades busted himself up the day before surgery, dude.
My team was thoroughly trounced. I think we won 1 round out of 5 when I was playing. Apparently they won the 2 rounds before I got there. I am an enormous drag, a negative. I bring nothing to the team. I was running around. I bumped really hard into Alex. He was like, "Ow, dude!" I was like, "Sorry, I have no spatial awareness." In sobriety,
I've gotten most athletic fellow.
No, I've gotten stronger. I've gotten better cardio endurance. I've gotten faster. I have not developed any more hand-eye coordination or just awareness of where my body is.
So not the sportsman, but healthy nonetheless.
No.
Yeah, I would have loved to have joined you guys, but I felt like the boys needed some daddy time.
This is also something the times that I've made videos with my lovers, I think I look cool, and then I see it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Wait, sex videos?
Yeah.
Man, dude, that's a generational thing. I never did that.
Well, yeah, you would have had to pull out the reel-to-reel, the 8,
You're going to need a napkin.
Say, sweetie, why don't let's make a film strip. Let's make a reel of us.
You want to make a moving
film
picture?
reel? Yeah, we made different kinds of reels now. Yeah, can I get a paper towel? Snacks in?
From over here, because this thing is already leaking.
Look, listen to him groaning.
Yeah, Wendy's got your number, dog.
She is name a hotter fast food mascot.
Nope, that's the one.
Can't think of any, huh?
No, I mean, Starbucks.
Wendy's. I buy Wendy's. I'm jacking off in the car before I even get home, just looking at the bag, dude. This redheaded slut.
Trying to burn them calories.
I think we talked about this before we got on, but the Starbucks mermaid is hot. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I spent probably 3 to 4 years of my life thinking that the official names of the Wendy's sandwiches were the Dave's Juicy Single, Dave's Juicy Double.
Now that's all I'm calling it, is the Dave's Juicy. Was that just marketing?
No, it was just called. It used to be called the Hot and Juicy Single, and then they changed it to the Dave's Single or something. And so I was calling it the Dave's Juicy Double.
This isn't
the Land O'Lakes chick. No, I'm just thinking of all the hot food mascots.
Land O'Lakes one. There's a funny Adam Sandler joke about jacking off to the Land O'Lakes butter.
What did he say?
It's like a whole song.
Well, you can use it to lubricate yourself also.
No, he's just like, your hair is tied up and the sun is behind you. And the last line of the song is jacking off to the Land O'Lakes girl. He's
so good.
Dude, his last stand-up special was fucking incredible, dude.
I haven't checked it out, but his musical comedy is a hard thing to pull off, and I think he's extremely good at it.
When I was a kid, the Adam Sandler CDs, dude, they were like at the sleepovers or whatever, that's what we were jamming hard.
We listened to
big time fun.
Eminem.
Ooh, wholesome.
11 years old.
That's what's fucking wrong with people. We all grew up on Eminem. That's what's wrong with the planet Earth at the moment.
Him talking about raping his own mother.
Yeah, dude. Eminem shaped a whole generation of sick podcasters and moviegoers.
He definitely played a role.
Yeah, I blame him. Just like your middle America parents.
Blame M.
But where were the parents at? So, how well do you know our guest today? Should we talk mad shit about him before he gets here?
I know him very well. He and I have had a weekly thing that we do.
Oh, yeah?
Going and talking about certain stuff with...
oh, that's right. I've been to that.
People at a detox.
Man, people going through it.
Yes.
Something really special about trying to help people in that position.
People in rough
are
times.
We really trying to help them, or are we just trying to help ourselves? And we get to help them sometimes.
I get a lot out of it because it's like a rotating cast of goofy, crazy people. And also, when you're going and trying to like talk about addiction to other groups of people, they can make an argument that they're like, yeah, I don't really have a problem or whatever. These people are in there because it was medically necessary to detoxify them. Yeah. So they've already made a step on admitting that there's something wrong because they were literally like, hey, I can't stop doing heroin. I need you to put me in a room.
Sometimes people are being put there, because their mommy, daddy, or their job, or
sure, it's not always voluntary.
I went to detox a number of times because I had nowhere else to sleep, and I was like, I could probably stand to get off the stuff for a little bit.
Is it comfy?
The old one was. I bet you the that one is probably really nice.
It is, yeah. Shouts out to them.
Man, trying to think about
lots of snacks, ice cream sandwiches, any time of day.
Big things that were happening this week in my life. The in-laws are here. I got a lot to talk about with this.
Nice.
So my father-in-law is a very family-oriented type person. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to get comfortable with this because I grew up in a mother-son household, just the two of us. I was a mama's boy, And I kind of had my own, had my own room. The refrigerator was mine. I was an only child, very spoiled, rotten, basically entitled.
You had your own fridge?
Well, you know what I mean. I wasn't fighting for fridge space with siblings or anything like that. And when my wife's family comes to visit, they they see no need to have their own bedrooms or get their own places.
They'll sleep in one bed like Charlie and the Chocolate
No,
Factory
they sleep in my
grandparents.
living room, dude.
Oh.
I mean, you saw I have a massive one of those L-shaped couches, but it's substantial. It's pretty freaking large. You can fit like 3 people on that thing. And
So you would maybe prefer sometimes that they grab their own little spot.
I mean, at first, yeah, I was like, fuck you mean they're sleeping in the living room? That's wild, because sometimes it's like 3 or 4 of them too.
Yeah.
But, they just come the way that they come. They always come last minute too. There's never a heads up. I found out about Daniel coming, the little brother.
Yeah.
2 days before.
Cool kid, by the way.
Yeah, right. I love him. I love these guys. It's just like it sort of jolts my my program. You know what I mean? Like I like things to go as my routine.
Yes.
And for a while, because I'm a bit of an institutional. Jimmy Spice is pretty institutionalized. Okay.
You should be.
Yeah, he likes things.
Should be locked up with all your crazy stuff you do. Little wild and crazy guy.
Well, he has been locked up, and he likes things in their special places that they belong in.
This is good. Keep talking in the third person like that.
And you don't get that. And then our father-in-law, he's just he's the fucking polar opposite of that.
Yeah.
And he puts things in the refrigerator on plates, which drives me completely fucking crazy.
That's an unfortunate habit.
But my wife loves her dad probably more than anything in the world. And she's so happy when he's around. And I actually really love the guy too.
Seems like it's worth it then.
Yeah, man. It's, but it's one of those things. It's like, I'm sure everyone that's been married has had to deal with this, but it's happening right now in real time. And it's a daily reminder that, this is what I always wanted. I always wanted a big family, and I have it. And it's not comfortable. It's not easy, and it's not my comfort zone. Sounds like our guest is here.
I'm going to go get him because I got to grab my jewel at the car too.
All right. So everybody's going to disappear now, and I'm going to be left all alone.
I'm loose. I said I'm loose, baby.
We're going to lose Snack of all trades.
Go take a nap or something. You've done what you need to do.
You are set up.
I'm sorry. He looks sad now.
No, I mean,
just
if you're
sprawl out
not
on the
comfortable though, there's no need for you to sit there. There may be a more comfortable seat.
You want to sit on my lap? Yeah, spin you around in a circle. We'll do Ride a Horse to London.
Cozy. Do you have notes?
Do I have notes? No.
Okay, we're running on there. You're good.
Everything's rolling. We're sure.
All right.
Jackson, everything's rolling.
Thank you, dude.
Snacks and.
I'll come check on you in a couple minutes. Make sure you're still breathing.
He brought me mine.
I appreciate it, $2.
All right. Bye bye.
This is not a good.
Can you hear me good?
Get a little bit closer. Just
okay.
pull it up so it's right natural.
This is
height
not
for
a
you.
this is
Okay.
not a
There you
good
go. That's
spear
straight.
gun, but it's a good starter gun.
Okay.
I was thinking about letting you use it if you didn't buy one.
No, I'm gonna use my uncle's. I don't know
Oh, yeah,
what
you gotta
shape
get
it's
those.
in or how old it is or any of that good stuff. But
Did you
we'll
see the pictures yet?
of
the
the stuff
spear
of
guns?
my? Yeah, I got them. Yeah,
We gotta
but
look
it's
at
not
that.
a very good picture. It's
Oh, yeah?
it's like from my dad's mechanic, so it's kind of like
They're in Ocala. The guns.
yeah.
Got to get an eye of those things. There's
Yeah.
more. There's more than one.
Yeah, my mom's going there tonight to pick them up. She's going to see my brother, doing a little favor for me. So
That's fucking awesome.
yeah.
That makes it sound criminal.
It does. What kind of favor?
doing a little
What kind of
favor
favor
for
are we
me.
talking about? I want to
Move over
use
here
this
so I
time.
can see our guests.
Yeah,
By
I
the
want to
way,
use this time subconsciously to reconfigure this in our brains for next week because I feel like this layout's not working great.
this is good right here for me.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
the only
gaze-
one that's
I can
having to
gaze
do
Should
into
this.
those
I
eyes.
sit more like this?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
there you
good.
go.
And
That's
I'm
better.
pretty sure you're still in the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fine. We got to get him on camera. This is some eye candy. This is
Yeah,
a
I
handsome
need to be
fucking
on the
guy,
camera.
dude.
Yeah, I was nervous about my
Look at
wife
this
tattooing
dude.
you, by the way. I'm
Really?
just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you get?
Look at that,
This
dude.
feather with a lightning storm in it.
You were saying you thought Chase might make a move on your woman.
Or she might make a move on him. dude.
He's a good-looking guy.
I got
But yeah,
this
we got to
done.
introduce him.
And I'm like, I've got a little bit of native in me, and I will talk about it all the time just because it's like it'll piss people off. And Terry's like, what is that your native name? Storm Feather. Nice. I was like, that's pretty good. It might be. I might just make it.
That's a
Storm Feather.
She did a great job. Killed it.
She was nervous about that one.
Really?
Yeah, it was just because it was a cool concept.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to fucking.
Dude, she brought the sketch out, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. And
Totally traditional did up too.
Yeah.
She's got an eye for that traditional thing.
It's very good. But she throws some detail into it, which I like. Little like twist on it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm planning to get her to cover up this is a little kitty cat that started as Shrek. So this camera can see that pretty bad. All my tattoos are from when I was under 18 and blacked out drunk. So
nice. And doing them with
I would do them mostly myself with like a sewing needle and
like
ink out of a ballpoint pen.
Yeah. That's
and
funny.
you do the poke and then you drag it like you just cut yourself basically.
You scratch it. You scratch them in.
See, like that was my way of dealing with like the pain.
That's what my triangle was done in the county with a staple that you sharpen it with an emery board.
Yeah.
And then you burn a piece of chess piece in the toilet paper holder of the in your bathroom. You have the stainless sink or whatever, and it's got like a oval or circular cutout, and that's where the toilet paper goes in. So you put a piece of chess in there and light it on fire, and you scrape the soot off the top. And you mix that with shampoo, and that's your ink. Yeah.
And that's still on your neck.
Yeah, well, it was the outline, so my wife packed it in.
I gotcha.
But I do have a tattoo on my ankle that I did myself that way in prison in South Georgia back in 2001, and then I have one on my chest that got covered up. That was
up
done
the road.
Do you know about purling?
No.
Purling is where they will take pieces of dominoes that they'll cut, and then they will insert it into the skin of their penis.
Oh.
So you'll get it cut into a shape. You can do like a star. You can do a Playboy bunny, the most sexual shape, and insert that under the head of your cock. This is like a thing that
Over the hole?
Mexican gang members will do in prison. No, in the skin of your cock head. Or possibly on the shaft.
Around? It's got to be in the shaft. I mean, how much room is around the hole on the tip?
I don't know, dude. They get it in there. I don't think it's in the tip. Like I said, it's.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was next to the head, I'm confused about the physiology here. Where I want to know exactly where on the cock. We need pictures.
Yeah, I need a picture.
Okay. The practice of permanently inserting small beads made of various materials beneath the skin of the genitals. Oh, a picture popped up.
Yes. Man, we need a big screen in here.
The shaft or the foreskin of the penis. Right. Yeah.
We need a big screen in here. I want that up right now. Right meow.
And supposedly it's because girls like it, but my friend who did it in prison said that he had sex with the first girl that after he got out of prison. She was like, that hurts so bad.
Oh,
she didn't like it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the way that we're made is the best way. Don't you think?
Penis of a Filipino man with beads under his penile skin.
I feel like nature got so much else right. Like, why do we feel the need to fuck with that? Like, they're probably, got that part right too.
So this is the pre-colonial Philippines. As young boys would have pins made of gold, ivory, or brass inserted through their penis heads, and as the boys grew older, these pins would be decorated, and they would later fasten bluntly spiked rings for the stimulation of their sex partners. So you could have your own little flair on it. It was like how people decorate their Crocs.
Yeah,
it's like you get to pick what kinds of little ornaments you want to put on your cock piercing.
I saw at the bathhouse there was a cock piercing that was pretty impressive looking.
What did you tell the gentleman?
Enter here.
Oh, there you go.
No, it was like a teardrop. It was a big metal teardrop hanging from the tip. It was pretty.
His penis was crying.
It looked horribly painful.
Penis was sad.
Nothing about it seemed like a good idea. I mean, I don't know. That whole thing is just like.
Well, it's an act of love because you do it for the stimulation of your partner. So you're like, no, but then you're like, this is going to feel so good for Rodrigo, my boy.
Rodrigo's a good name for that.
Yeah, man.
That's perfect.
Did you introduce him yet?
No.
Okay.
Did you have a cool introduction for him?
I'm trying to think something.
Oh man, dude, he fucking iced it up.
He stays chasing money, never chases bitches.
Oh,
it's Chase.
Well, he Chase Booby.
Yeah, Chase Booby.
Isn't that the handle?
Yeah, that's what they used to call me in high school.
Why?
Because
Chase
my last
Booby.
name's Boothby, and I guess that's too hard for some like country rednecks to pronounce, so they would call me Booby.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, so
I mean, I could see it. I'd like to call you just Chase Booby.
yeah.
Chase money, chase boobies.
Chase
Yeah.
Booby be throwing out the motorcycle, the tough guy stuff on
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
IG,
Well, I've
dude.
got the tattoos. I gotta let them know I
Flexing.
ride a motorcycle too.
Yeah,
you know?
long hair, don't
Yeah.
care,
Yeah.
motorcycle flair, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, everything you wanted and
Fucking
more.
soon to be spearfishing. He's coming out June 28th, dude.
Yeah.
I want to try it too.
Everyone does until
Yeah.
they get out there.
Why?
Yeah, dude, I've been watching videos on it. I've been listening to a podcast about it because I'm like very, very want to like. And I was talking to Matt about it, and just like the amount of skill you have to have and knowledge is pretty insane. It's not so much just like, oh, let's go out there and fucking dive down and get some fish. It's like
No, it's
pretty
terrible.
intense sport, you know.
I mean,
I can hold my breath for roughly 20 seconds. So
I tried last night. I got to 51 and I was like kind of out of breath. So I'm gonna do a little practicing.
yeah.
You know.
well, so the thing for me is that it's fucking terrifying.
I like that.
So, and when you get in the water, immediately every shark you've ever seen in your nightmares is coming at you. And you can't really see anything because it's the Gulf of Mexico. So it's not like you can see. You can't fucking see. You can see for like 10 feet in every direction. It's pretty frightening. And then like
I do have open wounds constantly, which is no good.
last week, we saw a bull shark. The day after we did.
Bull shark.
So we went the day after we shot last week again. I went on another trip, and that bitch was probably 8 feet long.
Big bull shark.
And he had to be 50 years old because
And they are mean.
he was so big. But he was old. You could tell he didn't give a shit about us at all. He just kind of cruised through. We were hunting this ledge, this really long ledge, and he was just, dining and dashing, dude. He was in and out. He didn't really give a fuck about us.
Gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Matt, he swam right under Matt. Like I saw Matt and I saw him. So that just like, because the key to diving is being calm.
Being calm, that's what it said.
Holding your breath.
Yep.
It's all in your head, man.
Yeah, it's
all in
like
your
the
head.
only sport where adrenaline is your enemy. Like you do not want to
Interesting.
be hyped up, and that's really hard. They say like when you shoot a big fish and you're like,
Or when you see
shit,
one
or
you want to shoot.
or you see something you want and it's a little farther down than you should be going, and
You're just like,
yeah.
Well, what's weird is like, so I'll drop and get there, and if I don't see anything, I'll immediately feel like I'm out of air. And I'll swim back up.
Yeah.
But if I do shoot something, all of a sudden I've got all the air in the fucking world to swim over there and grab it and get it all. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I need to go up. Like,
Yeah.
I'll forget that I'm like 30 feet deep or whatever. But there's nothing like it. I keep going back to it.
Yeah.
And, I'm not particularly like a tough guy or anything like that. But I will say the guy that we're going out with, Luke, is like a tremendous like teacher.
That's good.
Yeah, he makes me feel pretty confident while I'm out there on the water. So that's always cool, man. So I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Me too.
Hey, Tony, we should get you out there, man.
I would love to do it.
There's a short window every year that it's good. That June 28th is about. We'll go back again whenever grouper season is. It's just the weather gets worse, so the visibility gets worse.
Is there any danger of
More storms
accidentally
and whatnot.
spear shooting another swimmer?
No, shouldn't
Dick
be.
Cheney style?
No, because you don't drop at the same time. You're not supposed to
Okay.
drop at the same time. So what you do is if you have 4 people, you split up into groups of 2.
Okay.
And you basically buddy, and then you drop, and you communicate with one another. Like, sometimes you drop and all you're doing is recon, and you come back up and you're like, hey, I saw this rock over here and there's 3 grouper in it or a hog or whatever over there. So you swim and you drop and you're like a team. But you never want to be.
This sounds so sick.
You never want to be dropping at the same time. Dude, watch Key West Waterman.
Key West Waterman. Okay.
He's like the baddest motherfucking freediver. I love this guy. He makes great content.
A cousin named John.
Key West Waterman, yeah. But yeah, Chase, we've said a lot about you, dude. Our most handsome friend, excluding present company excluded, obviously. And he got a tattoo for my wife yesterday. This is the second tattoo.
First one was in right
in
here.
this motherfucking room. You know, shout out Mama Teresa. She'll be on this podcast eventually. Unfortunately, we generally film when she's working, so we'll have to make some special circumstances for her.
Yeah, gotta get her on
so everybody can see how hot Jimmy Spice's wife is. And you picked Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks, yeah,
as your movie, dude. Did you bring notes with you?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to.
You're fine.
You didn't prep me.
You weren't supposed to.
I watched it yesterday, and I've seen it probably. That was probably the 50th time I've seen it.
Really?
You know, yeah. I've watched that that movie since I was a kid.
What do you think about this?
It's a great movie,
dude. So Teresa, we're watching it, and she's like, I've seen that artwork before. And I was like, yeah, it's like a fucking super famous tattoo. Pete Davidson had that tattoo on. He's got it removed.
Not anymore.
He's a fucking douchebag. But I remember when it came out, and I remember that Independence Day came out that same summer. So it was like,
it's true. It was one of these cases. There's another thing where these two volcano movies came out right at the same time.
Yeah.
And Deep Impact and
Armageddon
Deep Impact
at the same time. But Mars Attacks was nothing like Independence Day. It was a comedy. Mm-hmm. It was like a goofy, comic book type thing. And it missed the fucking mark, dude.
Yeah.
Like nobody was down for Mars Attacks. I thought it was hilarious. I was real young. I was like 13. So I was a little confused. I was mostly confused about Jack Nicholson playing two roles.
Yeah.
I remember wondering, I was like, is just the president just like a slime ball in his side life or something?
Yeah, I didn't realize that until yesterday when I watched it, and I was like, oh shit, Jack Nicholson is playing the hotel owner. Like, that's
it took
crazy.
me a minute when they were showing him. I was like, I hear this guy's voice and it sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
So it's super funny thing is that Jack Nicholson actually took that role without reading the script because he just wanted to work with Tim Burton again. He had just worked with Tim Burton a couple years before Batman.
Yeah.
Joker. So he's just like, Jack Nicholson's like famously, cavalier about his career and just kind of took shit. But yeah, he didn't even know that he was playing two roles.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious that I didn't know that until yesterday. And then I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He's totally this. But like I watched it as a kid, like something you don't pick up on. And I think he did a really good job, like with the other role, like didn't look like him.
Yeah, and it was like not really a Jack Nicholson character.
No.
It was a guy. Jack Nicholson always like sort of in control, or not in control, but I don't know, not greasy anyway.
Yeah.
Like this guy was a slob.
Yeah.
This was a movie that when I was a kid, I was not allowed to watch, and consequently, I thought that it was going to be very scary. When I was a child, somebody told me they were like, they kill everybody. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so scary. But Independence Day, so I went to a daycare where I was the only white person called the Wilkie House. It was like a low-cost after-school daycare program. And they would have us watch Independence Day every week, pretty much. They had one VHS tape of this place. And they would be like, I don't know what to do with these fucking kids, and have us watch Independence Day. And I remember getting kicked out of, this is like a traumatic early memory for me, is I got kicked out of the movie room during the scene where they were blowing up the White House because this kid called me Crusty Toes.
Crusty Toes.
And I said, well, you're Crusty ASS. And the teacher was like, oh no, and grabbed me by the ear and pulled me out. And I remember crying, and I'm watching them blow up the White House. I was like, I want to see what happens. But then they played the movie again the next week, so it was fine.
Welcome to Earth. Dude, that's fucking hilarious that's the movie they were playing. That sounds like it's made up. I know it's not. It just sounds like it is.
Yeah,
that's how
what
typical.
Kind of daycare?
Well, I mean, the answer's in the question.
Huh? It was awesome. This was the best place ever. Yeah. I remember we went there for a tour, and they gave us like great snacks.
Let me guess. It was grape drink, not grape juice.
No.
Yeah.
But they gave us snacks, and then I was expecting there to be a snack every day, and they were like, oh no, we only did that because of the tour. But so just speaking of Independence Day, one of my favorite New Orleans memories is seeing this drunk guy, and I saw this, it was like it happened in slow motion. This drunk guy came stumbling out of this bar in the French Quarter. I'm like walking this way, he's coming out this way, and this couple is pushing like a tiny newlywed baby in a stroller. And I see this guy, and he's about to puke, and he barfs fully into the stroller, just all over this tiny baby.
Oh, God. That feels like a felony.
And his friend who is watching cracks up laughing and goes, "Welcome to Earth, bitch."
Oh, no. Hold on. Whose baby was it?
Just his couple were pushing their baby, and this drunk guy puked on their baby.
Oh, man, dude.
It was horrifying.
And the guy didn't get fucking murdered?
Yeah.
I recall him kind of like apologizing profusely, and I think it was these couple were like, they were like tourists, and they were just like traumatized, or like didn't know what to do.
Jesus Louises, dude. Welcome to Earth. That's pretty good. That's thinking on your feet right there.
Yeah. I was like, damn, your friend is incredibly sharp.
He must have just watched that. There's no way that one's just sitting in the chamber.
That's it. But yeah, I think about that every time I think about that movie.
That's fucking hilarious. But it was just funny because, there was all this, and I don't know why the zeitgeist at the time was not ready for Mars Attacks, but it became a cult hit.
Yeah.
So, but it's just one of those things. And then the cast is insane. I will say that my introduction to Annette Bening, at least in my brain, like I'm sure I saw her in
American Beauty,
Bugsy, or American Beauty, actually probably, but really was Running with Scissors, whatever. And it just made me hate her.
Yeah, she plays the evil mom in that movie, right?
She's the worst kind of person in that movie. I fucking hate those kind of people that like weaponize their, being victim and stuff like that. But so every time I see her now, I can't get that out of my head. It sucks.
Her character in this was awesome.
Yeah. Well, she
says a lot of things that I wrote down because I loved the quote where she's just like, "Greed is destroying our planet." And she's like, maybe human beings don't deserve to survive. I was like, damn, she's kind of talking my language.
And the Jim Brown, Pam Grier combo.
Pam Grier, one of the all-time hotties, dude.
A special gal. And this is maybe a year before Jackie Brown came out. Her resurgence was in the middle of the 90s.
I think you might be correct.
Because she was Foxy Brown, but then she wasn't really around. Pam Grier?
No, I'm horrible with names. You tell me the face of her.
The beautiful black lady.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Divorced from Jim Brown.
Yeah.
So she was Foxy Brown in the 70s. She was like a female Shaft in the 70s.
Okay.
She was like a bad bitch. And then Quentin Tarantino made a movie after he made Pulp Fiction called Jackie Brown with Samuel L. Jackson.
1997.
97. Fucking nailed that, dude.
You're a killer. She's one of the all-time baddies for me.
Jackie Brown.
Pam Grier is just a stacked up.
Yeah, and I've talked
large breasts.
I've talked about this before on movies. Like I make it so. In my younger life, I was always very like transparent about when I found a woman attractive. No matter if I was around my girlfriend or my mom, I was just like a kind of a gross guy. I was like a bro, or it still am, I guess. But I make it a huge point to not be that way around my wife. When we're watching a movie and I see a girl that I find attractive, I just keep it to myself. There's no need to be rude. But with Pam Grier, I did comment. I was just like,
couldn't help it.
Well, I just said, if you ever wonder what I think one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood is, there it is right there.
I'm imagining you like just trying to hold it in and you just go, damn, God damn it.
She's like, would you stub your toe? I'm like, no. Pam Grier just so sexy. I don't know how to take it.
Shit.
I can't handle it. Dude, I mean, the opening scene of this movie is fucking amazing. There's just so much about that. Why did you pick it, Chase? Like, what about it?
Is it Filipino New Year's? So fucking funny, man.
Man, I don't know why I picked it. It just like is a movie that comes to me when somebody's like, "What's your favorite movie?" It's like, I love movies. I have a lot of favorite ones, but one I've loved since a kid is that. I remember ordering that movie off of eBay, which that used to be a thing. I don't know if it's still a thing anymore.
For just viewing or for the DVD?
Bought the VHS off of it, so I could watch it, because like same thing as Tony said, like I thought it was a scary movie. I was like, I want to watch a scary alien movie. I think that I was into like Alien versus Predator or something at that time in my age, and like I was like, I want to watch a scary alien movie, and then I got this movie and I watched it and I was like, that wasn't scary, that was fucking hilarious. It's just funny, lighthearted.
It's very dark but played in a super funny,
and it's how I imagined aliens would look,
for sure.
Yeah. So why do we know they're from Mars?
Because they show them.
It shows them like on the
levitating out
red
of Mars.
planet and like coming up, and then like
okay.
like they go back to
I was thinking
the
that in
red.
the
Like
end.
you see the red hue, so I guess that's why we know they're from Mars.
Okay.
But yeah,
In the end, I was like, would they ever say they were from Mars, or did we just assuming that they're from?
Yeah, bro.
I love how when
They were hiding in the underground in the canals.
So when we meet Jim Brown's character, or not when we meet him, but he's in the car with Jack Nicholson's secondary character.
yes,
And
yeah,
he's trying to get him to rough some people up for money.
yeah.
And Jim Brown says, I'm a better man. I found Allah and I gave up pork.
Yeah, and then he
guys
doesn't
see
hear
that?
any of it. He just goes, gave up pork. I thought that was
Gave
super
up
funny
pork, huh?
too. Yeah.
This is a funny thing to say too. Like, I'm a better man now. I don't eat pigs.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Well, that doesn't
It's true,
seem-
dude. There's swine.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
Just
eat
don't-
hoofed creatures like
Don't
that,
dig
dude.
on swine. That's all.
I don't know. I couldn't give bacon up.
He plays Byron Williams, a retired boxer. Jack Nicholson plays U.S. President James Dale. And
James
the
Dale.
casino owner is named Art Land.
And then Glenn Close is the first lady.
Yes. Very hateable.
Yeah.
I don't know
that's-
if Glenn Close has never been in a movie where I was like, oh, I'm rooting for her. It doesn't matter what the movie is. I'm like, somebody knock this bald head bitch out.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of always her thing. She was my introduction to her
Fatal
was
Attraction.
Well, no, the 101 Cruella
101
de Vil.
Dalmatians, yeah.
Yeah, she was Cruella de Vil, like the first live action version of that.
Fatal Attraction is like Michael Douglas is married to this smoking hot babe, and then he's like, oh, I'm just so into this
There's a super dated, like
Glenn Close.
super like 90s style joke. Like I don't know if you remember the SNL sketch It's Pat,
Somewhat.
like the gender ambiguous. They even made a movie about it.
Yep.
But so they're doing a press
Not funny
release
to me,
about
by
the
the way.
Martians.
Yeah.
And the like the super ambiguous the gender. Do the aliens have two genders like us? Which is super awesome that we can still laugh at stuff like that. But
It's
They
definitely
have
a
no
movie.
genitalia.
There's some jokes in there that you're like, yeah, this is a 90s movie. This is like this would not be made today.
I remember thinking when you get shot by the alien and you burn up into a skeleton, that's a great graphic. It's super corny looking by today's standards, but it was like a really like sort of visceral thing.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I remember being like, "Holy shit!"
And then like they turn either red or green depending on the gun they were shot with. I don't know
is
if
that
you
what it
picked
is?
up on
Yeah,
that.
they have two different two
Yeah.
different guns. One of them lights you on fire. The other one is like a green ray thing.
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
notice that some skeletons are red and some are green. Like Michael J. Fox, he's green, right? When he gets killed.
I don't know. There's a lot of killing in that.
I think he gets greened. Yeah, when
gets
he
greened pretty hard.
simps out and he tries to save Sarah Jessica Parker, even though she was already flirting with James Bond.
Yeah, hard, dude. What a good-looking guy Pierce
I
Brosnan.
love when
is.
they kiss at the end. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's true. And
I
her-
love like her body language when she's like her head's attached to the chihuahua and she's just
Yeah.
like scratching herself and
she's
just
all
like
happy and wagging her
like
tail and
wagging her
shit.
tail. Yeah, it's so funny.
You can tell a lot of thought went into that about
Yeah.
like how her, and she wasn't even that famous at that point. A lot of these people, I think, weren't like. I mean, Jack Nicholson's obviously Jack Nicholson.
I
but-
mean, Jack Black's in it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that as a kid. Like, it's taken me, like, watching it now and, like, really.
Yeah,
like,
years.
yesterday watching it, I definitely was, like, paying attention a lot more. Just, like, trying to understand the movie some more.
we had a blast. Me and the wife had a lot of fun watching it, dude. This is one of the, and it's short and it's kind
Yeah.
of just like fun
Yeah.
or whatever. It still took me 2 nights.
The bit of the Martians
funny.
continually faking people out
Yeah.
and then killing them. I loved that there was no moment where it's like, oh, there was a big misunderstanding. It's just like, no, they're just here to kill everybody.
Well, there's this
Yeah.
scene where they're in the end. They're like when they're running around killing people right before
Right before they get the music.
their drive through with the music. There's a scene
Yeah.
where they're in the streets
Yep.
and they're killing people and it says, "Don't run, we are your friends."
Yeah.
Don't run, we are your friends. And they're blasting them.
yeah.
Him being in front
They're
of
fucking
Congress.
hilarious.
Him being in front of Congress and doing the thing where it's like, oh, that you think he's gonna pull out a gun, then he pulls out the message or whatever,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
does it again, and then he just goes,
And then,
just
like-
barbecues everybody. It's so fucking funny.
When they're, like, dancing behind the guy singing.
Yeah, they sneak on stage with Tom Jones. Great
Yeah.
role by Tom Jones.
Was he Australian or something?
Nah,
What's up with that accent?
he's just a player, dude.
No, Tom
he's
Jones
he's from
accent.
England.
England. Okay,
He's
so
Welsh.
there was an accent, Welsh accent.
I didn't
whatever.
realize that in the song "It's Not Unusual" that he says, "I wanna die."
Yeah. I wanna die.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah, it's not unusual to see me cry. I wanna die. I met Danny DeVito comes up. He says, "Hey, you're that guy. It ain't unusual."
Danny DeVito playing a rude gambler.
Yeah.
Character is not named in the movie.
Oh, really?
It's a lot of these people had worked with Tim Burton before.
Okay. That the girl that is with the huge breasts, that's Jim Brown's like.
Yeah,
buddy?
like a little.
I
assistant
thought that
lady.
was Selma Hayek when I was a kid.
Nope.
No, I went on a deep dive. She had like 0 other acting roles.
Yeah.
But she's like Puerto Rican. Or
You were
something.
trying to see if she
Wonder
showed
if she
him.
still gets money from that. You know, because I rented it last night. If she got a couple cents in her bank
hope so,
account
man.
today, you know.
I don't know.
This movie
Well,
was a
it all
bomb.
depends on the contract. It was a bomb, but over time, if you got if you built a contract off
I mean, that's
this
a 20-year-old
for
movie.
the back end,
30-year-old movie.
yeah. But if you get money off the back end, then you're still getting paid, right?
Yeah.
It was originally drafted. The first script was budgeted at $260 million they were going to spend on this, and they ended up doing 80 to 100, and it made 100 at the box office. So
So it broke even, and then over time, it's
yeah,
funny.
it's probably done
You know?
okay. It's one of a string of like 3 failures for Tim Burton because Batman Returns did not touch the box office of the original Batman. Kind of flopped. It was too dark and spooky. People
It was
thought.
very dark and spooky.
And then he did Ed Wood. Have you seen Ed Wood?
Yes, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh
I've
my
heard
God.
it's great, but
Ed
it
Wood's
didn't
incredible.
do well at the box office.
So the girl that plays the Martian, the female Martian,
so funny.
Mm-hmm.
she plays Vampira in Ed Wood, which is like a take on Elvira.
Yeah.
Or the original Elvira from like the early. Dude, Ed Wood is fucking. That's like Johnny Depp's one of his best roles.
I have to
Anything.
watch it then.
Dude, Ed Wood's incredible. We should definitely.
Yeah.
The fake Martian lady. Anytime there's a scene where a guy is bamboozled and perplexed by like a woman because he's horny and he's just overlooking all these bad signs. It's like when Bugs Bunny dresses up as a girl to seduce Elmer
Yeah.
Fudd.
Yeah.
I'm always like,
Yeah.
And Martin Short leans into it too. God, you have no idea how stressful my job is. It's so nice to see a new face around here.
I wondered why they set that up with him picking up the sex workers earlier in the movie. I was like, why are they showing us this scene? It's like, oh, just
And
need to
then he's got,
establish
like-
that he's a horny freak.
He's got like the circular bed, and he's like
Kennedy room.
laying on it with on his hip out, and he's just and when he gets up to get a drink, he like spin moves off the bed and runs over. Dude, Martin Short, I love him.
He's
in that.
funny.
I think he's great.
funny. Yeah.
I really don't think there's a bad role in the movie. There's not a single character that I was kind of like blah. Like
No.
even the general that
Which one?
The black guy. that
Oh, dude, when he
gets-
takes that
Dude,
phone
when he-
call
from
it's
his wife,
so
and he's-
funny. If I just shut up and didn't
Yeah.
do anything,
good things were gonna happen. Yeah, he goes like it goes up a register.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, and then he just looks at the soldier next to him.
Yeah. And then he's like pep talking the guys before, and he's like, "We want snappy responses, gentlemen." And it's like he's like setting them up for like a Broadway show or something like that. It's fucking hilarious.
Did you notice who plays Jim Brown's son, the older son?
Ray J.
Dude.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yep, Ray J, dude.
I
was
know
all
I know
over
this
that.
guy. I
Yeah,
feel
it was-
like
damn, that's crazy.
I feel like I've seen this guy's penis before.
yeah.
It was Ray J.
Yeah.
yeah, I just love alien movies too. So
Well,
that's why
another
it
reason
sticks
that
with
you
me.
wanted to talk about this was your experiences with
yeah,
extraterrestrials also.
yeah. I've seen real life aliens.
All right, let's have it, man.
100%
that,
believe
please.
in them.
Yes, let's have that.
So I was taking this boat with my uncle. He used to drive yachts for people for a living, and we were taking a boat from Hawaii to Alaska. Sorry.
He was a captain.
Yeah, he's a captain,
Yeah.
but like for
Yeah,
multi-million dollar boats. The owner of the boat was actually the CFO of Rockstar Games. Told me the story about how they bought GTA.
Oh, really?
Like it was these 4 nerds that came in with this idea. They copped it from them for a few $1,000s, and
Really?
GTA is what it is now. So I don't know if those guys are like, sitting around like looking at that money biz they had, but like that was pretty crazy being on there with that boat with that guy who's a really cool guy from Australia.
The CFO of Rockstar Games.
Yeah.
Christ, that's a fucking
Right. So that's the kind of boat we were on. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Money boat.
And we're driving this boat, and it takes 12 days to get to Alaska. And we're from Hawaii. We left from Maui.
Okay.
And
So the two states that aren't really states.
yeah. And like people,
Honorary
it was kind of
states.
funny. Like that was so normal over there. Like people drive boats from Hawaii to Alaska all the time. We're like, yeah, we're going to Alaska. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Like,
Really?
like it was something that happens all the time. And we're like day 7 or 8. So we're 800 miles in the Pacific Ocean from any landmass. There's nothing around. And it's my job to drive the boat. It's on autopilot, but you still are like redirecting the course because it gets off course a little bit. So you're like turning the motor a little.
Yeah.
As
How
it
old are
goes.
you at this point?
I was 20 years old.
Nice.
20 years old. I'm like also on this big fancy boat. So my uncle was big, like, hey, don't bring any weed. Like,
I was gonna say
don't.
you weren't burning any.
No, I
gas.
wasn't like smoking. I was like not taking any pills. I wasn't drinking. Like stone cold sober for these 12 days and hard 12 days. And, so I'm driving the boat. My shifts from like 12 till 6 in the morning. You do like 6-hour shifts, and it's like 2 o'clock. And I'm just doodling. I'm trying to stay awake, keep myself occupied, and the boat's probably sitting about 10, 15 feet above sea levels where the captain's deck is at. And there's a flash of white light that goes by me at eye level. Like, it didn't come down from the sky. It just, boom, zooms right past me. And I was like, whoa, that was fucking weird. And so I continue to just, like, ignore it, kind of, and just do my doodling. And then I look up, and it's called a Portuguese deck on this boat. It's kind of like a Deadliest Catch crab boat, you know, like the little deck out in front of it. And so I'm looking, and probably not much farther than this door right there is a full-blown alien. A, like, slee stack. You ever saw Land of the Lost and the slee stacks? So it looks like that. I've also been told, like, that was probably a reptilian. I spoke with, like, an alien head before, and he was like, it's probably the reptilian kind. But big, dark green, scaly, very fucking real.
This guy.
Yeah, very similar to that. Not like the pointed thing, but the big eyes, scaly
I gotcha.
body. Yeah. And I was
he wearing clothes?
no,
So he's
no
naked,
clothes.
which is
yeah.
extra threatening.
Yes.
Big
and
dong?
I was
it hard?
well, I couldn't see anything below chest level.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. And
Did you see his hands? Were they maybe
no, couldn't see his hands, nothing. Totally frozen.
going on?
Yeah, he's just like whacking it to me. He's like,
Yeah.
look at this pretty boy.
You don't know what.
I am like frozen in fear. Can't move. And then I'm like, you know what? I've always wanted to see aliens. I'm going to go out here and say what's up to this thing. I'm like, this is dead.
So
like,
are you inside a glass
Say what's
closure?
up.
Yeah, I'm
So
like
you're
inside
in the cab,
a room.
You're like in a cabin or something.
Yes.
And he's outside and on the deck.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, like catty cornered to me.
Heard.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go say what's up. I've always like been like, I want to see aliens. This is my
Yeah.
fucking opportunity. Let me go dap this guy out. Let's go on a little trip.
Yeah.
And, like,
Maybe he's got some
Maybe he's
weed.
got weed.
yeah. And so then I'm like walking to the door, and I look over my shoulder, and there's another one on the other corner. And at this
I'm
point,
shitting my pants. at
I'm
this
shitting
point.
my
Yeah,
pants.
yeah.
I'm now, for some reason, like I want to see aliens is gonna be so cool. Fear.
Gone, yeah.
It's like the fear come back, and I'm frozen. And I think about, I had like gotten jumped like a month or two prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like, you know, scarred me for life on this like fucking, you better watch what's behind you type of thing. So I just put my hands up. Like, I'm going to fight these fucking things off. And in the blink of an eye, they're gone. And I'm glad I didn't walk outside, because my uncle did tell me, he's like, hey, when you're driving this boat tonight, do not go outside. I don't care if it's because the stars look pretty and you want to go out
or
there.
If there's aliens on the deck.
Yeah, like if you go outside and you fall off, the boat's on autopilot. We're in the Pacific Ocean. You're dead in 5 minutes. Like you're gonna freeze and you're gonna be dead.
You get abducted.
Like they're not gonna say, "Oh, Chase got abducted." They're gonna say Chase fell off the boat. You know, closed case, done. You're never gonna find my body.
No.
It's, it's 4 hours till the next shift. The boat's gone 50, 60 miles.
Meanwhile, you're getting probed.
Yeah. And I just had full fear. And and like as real as they were, like right there, me and you, in the blink of an eye, they didn't get beamed up. They like all these things you think, like it was the blink of an eye, they were gone. Yeah. And then for the rest of the night, I was fucking scared, man. I was scared, dude. The rest of the night driving the boat, and like I would see them in my think I see them in my peripheral. Look up, they're not there.
Well, okay, so there's the prominent theory that the aliens actually live in the ocean.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So does that track with you then? And that looks like an amphibious creature too.
Yes,
that looks like
does.
a water creature to
Especially
me.
being, I was 800 miles from any landmass.
Yeah, it tracks,
This
dude.
light didn't come down from the sky.
What kind of depths are we talking about in those waters? Pacific.
Be specific.
Dude, you'd have to look it up, but I know it's
What
fucking
would we do
deep.
without Tony, dude? I really don't know what we would do without. Be specific about the Pacific. Like, where's the Mariana? Is that in the Pacific Ocean? Is that the northern Pacific?
I'm pretty sure it's in the Pacific. Like I said, so
we're talking about a couple racks deep, though. We're talking about
you're talking deep.
About 1,000.
You're talking
2,000
probably
feet.
like unexplored
This
territories.
is Mariana Trench is the Western Pacific.
Yeah, dude. So we're out
Could have
there.
been right over it, dude.
Yeah, I could have been at the fucking base,
That's
dude.
the thing. There could be a fucking spaceship the size of Tampa down there, and we would not know.
We'd not
about
know.
it. Why would we know about it? There's no fucking way to get down there. Yeah.
You know how much of the ocean's like undiscovered,
More
and
than
we're worried
outer
about
space.
going to fucking space. I'm like, maybe we should worry about what's here. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
There's definitely more of the universe has been graphed and explored than the ocean.
big time.
Yeah,
big time. And it just was and they've fucked with me. I think that I was like, almost like marked after that. Is like when I would tell the story for the first couple of years after. I mean, this happened 10 years ago.
I was gonna say you're 30 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so first couple of years, they would really fuck with me. Like I would hear things at night when I'm going to bed and just could feel their presence, as well as like another thing I've talked with people who are like really big into aliens, like their communication is like telepathic and like through like feeling, like they can make you feel things without speaking to you. And I could feel their presence a lot of time.
Huh.
And it would scare me. Yeah,
So
I knew that they were not chill. I was like, we're not going to fucking Rick and Morty this thing and like go on some cool space adventure. Like they're going to stick things in me and they're going to fucking put my head on a chihuahua body and like shit like that, dude.
It's very funny to me that your initial impulse was like, I'm just going to go say what's up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, he's got a buddy.
Nah, fuck that.
I'm cool.
And then put my fists up like, okay, I'm going to take him. Fuck it.
What
Doing Muay Thai with an
what did
alien.
your uncle say about this?
He told me not to tell the boat owners.
Really?
Yes.
Did he co-sign though? Was he like down? Like, yeah.
He was like,
Did he have a similar experience to share?
Not really. We didn't really talk about it much. I told him that this happened, that this weird thing happened.
That's interesting.
And he was just like, let's not tell the boat owner that. You're not smoking weed, right? And I was like, no. And
so it's hard to know if he thinks you're full of shit.
yeah, because
Or
he's
if he has
passed
the same
away now. So it's not like I can even.
This is the uncle with the spear guns.
Yes, yeah. So it's like I can't even like call him up and be like, dude, can we just like fucking talk about it? And he's like, they're listening. Stop.
Right?
Yeah.
He might have seen some shit in his
Dude,
own.
I mean,
He just
he's
didn't
like
wanna
in the
get into
Navy
it.
and driving boats his whole
what a
life.
fucking
I wouldn't doubt
mystery,
it.
dude.
You know, and fishermen are like people that have a lot of stories about sightings.
Yeah.
Because you're out there in the middle of fucking nowhere, dude. Like,
I think that that explanation is way more probable than like interplanetary traveling.
yeah, like they came here a
Creatures
long time ago. They've burrowed into the oceans and
Like,
they are
this
hidden.
This is potentially just as much, if not more so, their planet than it is ours. Considering the planet's covered, what, 70% of the fucking surface of this planet's water?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like,
and we don't know 80, 90% of the water. It's like fucking odds are in their favor,
we dive
dude.
around in the little 20 30 foot range and have fun with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's wild.
I'm intrigued by the hypothesis that the alien was jacking off. And so he's like peeping Tom, like beating it to chase, and then his buddy shows up and is like, "Bro, what are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, we gotta get out
Dude,
of
you
here.
can't get caught doing this
This
again.
guy's trying to beat my ass. We gotta leave."
Not again, Glorp, dude.
Glorp,
Glorp, dude.
you gotta chill.
Yeah.
That
And
is
the
fucking
interdimensional
hilarious,
goon
dude.
sesh, no good, man.
And this is already after you've Mars attacks it a bunch, so you're thinking,
Yeah.
go get the fucking yodeling music.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, they're fucking real, man. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
They're real.
I fully.
And I don't know if they're
I fully
all
believe it. Yeah,
I don't know if they're all like mischievous and have bad intent, but I know the ones I've met, they gave me that feeling that this is not chill.
well, I think if you go in nature and you get like face to face with like underwater creatures or stuff that's in the forest, you know, the idea of aliens becomes way more easy to fucking grasp because there's a bunch of weird shit out there already.
Look at an octopus, man.
Yeah, dude. And fish are fucking crazy looking, dude.
I know.
And they look at you, they fucking, you know, the grouper right now, because they've been out of season for like years in the Gulf, and so the Gulf of Mexico, and they I just don't like change, you know. I got no problem with whatever.
My point is Mexico's part of America, so.
Yeah, what's the fucking big deal? What was the need to change? What a fucking weird flex.
Let's not get into the politics.
The grouper, the gag groupers right now they're super like flaunting, like they're being cavalier, to use the same word twice in one podcast, because they haven't been getting hunted.
Yeah, so
and
they're
they
like
know what's
walking
up.
around big chests.
And the first time you drop and you don't shoot them, they're kind of like hip. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what it is. And they're acting like puppy dogs. They're like rolling around in the sand. You should hear how this captain that I hang out with talks about it. He's like, they know what's up, dude. They're playing. They're like wagging their tail at you. Hogfish will swim up to you, and if you make like the dirt go up, they'll like swim around in it and like play in it, and then you can fucking shoot them.
Nice.
Oh, jeez.
It's crazy. But it's no. What the point being
come
is
here,
like,
buddy.
the point being is like the idea of like interacting with a creature that looks so different than a human being is not that fucking far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? Like an amphibious looking creature on the deck of your boat tugging one to your wavy locks is like, okay.
Yeah.
Why the fuck wouldn't that be a thing? You know, what else happens?
Yeah,
in the
what if
middle of
they're
the
talking
ocean?
about me? They're like, dude, remember that fucking good looking guy?
And also, we don't know if he has a penis, so he could just be punching in and out of a cloaca or something.
Dude, in the Mars attacks, they're like dissecting him, and they're like, do you guys notice the lack of genitalia on this thing? So, you know, we don't even know what they're working with.
The aliens are
Maybe that's why they're fucking, you know,
Frustrated.
abducting us. They're like, dude, what are these fucking hogs these guys got on them?
And what are these holes? Let's go in
What's
there.
this hole?
Why is that? What is the theory that they're always probing holes, dude?
they're trying to figure out what's going on in there. I don't understand it myself.
What about, why not just go in the mouth, though? Why is it always the anus?
I don't know. Well, people probably remember that. They're like, yeah, they poked around in my mouth a little bit, and then the bad thing happened.
Yeah, like the mouth was cool. I was chill with
I felt
that.
like I was at the dentist, and then he went in my butt.
And then the bad thing happened.
I was wondering, just while we're on the topic of alien sex.
Yeah.
Damn, I already used that song for the last episode we did about aliens, but the Kanye West verse on Katy Perry, Extraterrestrial, he goes, tell me what's next, alien sex. So sick. But when they attach Pierce Brosnan's head to, he's just got the detached head, and then he's flirting with Natalie on the dog's body. Our video guy and I were trying to figure out how they could hook up. Could he eat her doggussy?
Dogus, yeah, sure. Well,
If he just laid down, if his head was like that.
I don't know. He's still got a conscious human mind, you know. You're gonna have
True.
to. You're gonna have to.
But he's
live
a
with that.
scientist, you know.
Yeah,
he's
but he's
interested
a
in
scientist.
exploring different
now,
things.
but did the nerves make it? But yeah, because she's wagging her tail.
Yeah.
So she's feeling whatever you do. to the
She's
dog.
like, just do it.
yeah, and I mean, if he is really interested in pleasing her,
yeah.
he'll just do what it takes.
Yeah.
The funny undertone of a lot of this movie is how there's this horrible catastrophic thing going on and everybody's just still kind of behaving how they normally would.
Yeah.
They're flirting. The president's just like, how do we keep people calm? Like,
Well,
we don't
there's
want
that-
people to know that this is happening.
That line, the line was in the promos. I remember. Don't forget, you still got 2 out of 3 branches of your government.
Yeah.
That ain't bad. That's
that
like,
ain't bad.
yeah, and that's like a famous line, because it's like the complacency of the whole thing. Like everyone's kind of just fucking. Jack Nicholson's other character is still trying to sell.
He's trying to sell the casino right up to the point where he gets annihilated by the aliens.
And
It takes him so long to figure out that, as the donut shop owner lady puts it, one of my favorite minor characters, that maybe they are not liking the human being.
Yeah.
or when they invade the White House and they go to run and the lady's like, oh nope, there's a tour in here, gotta go
Yeah.
this way.
That scene
Yeah.
where all the kids are in the tour group and they start hearing the weird noise and one of the kids goes, "What is that?" And she goes, "That is a portrait of James Monroe."
That's Ray
She
J.
gets blasted.
And then Ray J, he starts fucking.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, he starts killing, dude. Ray J
this-
gets a gun. He
It
starts
takes
handling
the
business.
young urban kids are the first ones to be like, all right, we got to start blasting back at these fools.
taking care of business. And then Glenn Close gets killed by
The Nancy Reagan chandelier falls on her.
Dude, that was really
Yeah.
good, man.
She shouldn't have talked that smack.
There's been like the whole
She was talking that smack.
Talking shit about Nancy, the throat goat.
every fucking character there isn't a part of the movie I don't like.
No.
You know what I mean? I can't think of any aspect of
The
it.
CGI is very charmingly bad.
Yeah, and I think
I felt like it was charmingly good for when it came out.
Compare that to Independence Day, though.
Yeah.
well,
I guess you're right.
it's very Tim Burton though. I mean,
Yeah,
because
I think it's intentionally
the opening
cheesy.
like the opening in Beetlejuice. Like
I was gonna say
it's
it's
a
very
model.
Beetlejuicy.
Yeah, and when the tower falls, you can tell it's a model, but you're kind of supposed to be able to tell it's a model.
Kind of funny. All those Boy Scouts fucking got smushed, dude.
Oh, dude, yeah, the monument, the Washington
Yes,
monument. how it was-
the aliens
straight
are
up
like,
take
oh, they're not
them
going to let it fall over. They keep buffeting it around until it can fall on the Boy
I
Scouts.
didn't know that you had.
It's brutal. I feel like if I had seen this as a little kid, there's a chance I would have gotten really scared and be like, they killed Congress. I like Congress. When 9/11 happened, I came home crying to my dad and I was like, they're going to attack Iowa next. And he was like, why would they do that? And I was like, we're the nation's breadbasket.
Where were you when 9/11 happened?
Iowa.
No, where'd you learn about it? Were you in class?
Yeah.
Like what grade?
I think I'd been in 3rd grade, you know?
Yeah, that's funny.
I was being breastfed.
What about you?
I was
Probably
in
bit
second
your
grade,
mom. You
and
get scared.
Everybody remembers this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember much. I remember that my parents came and picked me up early from school,
Yeah.
and that all the adults were being very weird, and I didn't understand what everyone was freaking out about. But I got to go home early, and it was weird.
Being psyched about 9/11.
It was
as a
hard to
child.
grasp it as a kid what had happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
a fucking dude, I'm in 2nd grade, so I'm probably well, I was born in 95, so what am I, 6 years old or something?
What
7
years?
years?
When's
Yeah.
your birthday?
Oh, I'm not in 2nd grade then.
95. When's your birthday?
95.
grade.
Yeah.
What month?
You
August.
trying to do astrology on this motherfucker?
No, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I'm a
figure
Leo,
something
if
out.
you're
95. So the reason I bring this up is a funny thing with my wife and I. My wife's birthday is 9/11.
Yeah.
And she was in the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And so her birthday's right after yours. So you guys are almost the exact same age.
Yeah.
But so when we asked that story, that's the thing. The generation before us was where were you when JFK was shot? And now it's where were you in 9/11? So she was in the 3rd grade. It was her birthday. And everyone's parents showed up. She remembers her parents showing up. I was in DeKalb County Jail.
Oh, shit.
I remember coming out of my cell on the 2nd floor and seeing the tower.
Oh,
So she was in the
shit.
3rd grade. I was already doing time.
Damn, buddy.
Yeah. It's a funny thing that we like
That's
to joke
funny.
Young
about.
wife.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know George H.W. Bush? They asked him in an interview. They were like, "So where were you when JFK was shot?" He's like, "Actually, I don't recall."
Really?
Yeah.
No way. That's a weird thing to fucking say to that.
He killed him. He fucking killed him, bro. He was literally involved in the assassination. There's CIA documents that are like
he probably
George H.W. Bush, who by the way was not supposed to be involved in the CIA at this time. When Reagan made him the CIA director, they were like, "We're bringing in an outsider, someone who hasn't been in the agency." But no, there's a fucking memo that's
he's like perfect age. What was he in his 30s or something?
He was in Dallas when it happened.
Yeah. Well, he's from Texas and he was in government.
Yes, and there's a memo where it's like Agent Bush meeting with Cuban radicals in Dallas on the day of the fucking shooting.
HW, and then he became part of the new regime. They say that was the end of democracy.
He murked Kennedy, bro.
Well, there's some people that believe that, the assassination of...
If we're talking aliens, we're going to get into JFK, too.
JFK was the end of American democracy. The actual end of it. That it's never really been.
I think it's still going strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Except when they, steal the election or whatever. No big deal.
Well, it's all owned by special interest groups, right? Money is the king now. It's democracy for those who can afford it.
Yeah.
And then there's people like me in the middle that just don't care enough to, fight for it, I guess.
That's what they count on, dude.
Exactly. It's not the actions of evil men, but the indifference of good men that will actually be the fall. Was that Thoreau?
I don't know. Not the quote machine over here.
I disagree.
Yeah.
One critique that I have of Tim Burton that I thought didn't apply to this movie was pretty much every movie he's made has been somebody else's intellectual property, if you know what I'm saying. It's not like an idea that he came up with.
Yeah.
I think maybe Beetlejuice was his idea.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's from a screenplay that somebody else wrote. But at least that was like an original thing. But then after that, he's doing Batman, comic book. Ed Wood, real guy. Sleepy Hollow, classic story. Planet of the Apes is like a TV show. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, obviously a book.
What about Scissorhands?
Scissorhands might have been his original shit.
Yeah, Scissorhands. Walk.
Yes, that's from a story by him. But now, the last couple years, it's literally just them giving every possible franchise goes to him. They're like, okay, you get to do Sweeney Todd. You get to do Alice in Wonderland. You get to do Dark Shadows. You get to do Dumbo. He did Dumbo.
I never watched the Dumbo. Was it good?
I don't know.
I'd like to watch that.
Did they have the racist crows? You have those crows in the original Dumbo that are perched on the thing.
I done seen
Dumbo, if you don't get your ass on, boy, with your big ears.
Yeah. I see.
One of them literally named like Jim Crow.
Something like that.
One of their song is great though. I done seen a horse fly and a house fly, but I done seen about everything when I see an elephant fly. You don't remember that?
No, dude. I haven't seen Dumbo in forever.
When I was a kid, my mom watched over the nursery at church on Sundays at like the 9 a.m. and the 11 a.m. service, and we would play like the Disney sing-along videos, and that was one of them. And I know a lot of those songs still to this day. They're like burned into my memory because they were like 20-minute long videos that would be on repeat or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Jackson is right. The lead crow is named Jim Crow. This is during the Jim Crow era. And they do a minstrel show, basically.
I had no idea that you were bringing an actual alien encounter to the table today.
Yeah. I mean,
I have nothing like that in my.
I told Terry about it, and he was like, "You're gonna have to speak about that." He's like, "Why'd you pick Mars Attacks?" I was like, "I don't know. I like it, and I've seen Aliens." So he's like, Whoa.
"Did Terry
glossed over that?
Did Terry film the phone call that he made the other day? Isn't that supposed to?
Oh
be?
yeah, I've got it filmed.
Oh yeah. Did it end up on a TikTok?
No, I don't have TikTok. No.
Okay, because
you're just filming this for your own enjoyment.
Yeah, he asked me to film it.
I was like,
so what's he doing with
it, bro?
I don't know. It's on my phone.
That was really good.
Yeah, it was funny though.
So I saw him the next morning. He was like, "Did you like that phone call?" I was like, "I fucking knew it was something was weird."
Yeah.
What's funny is he called, and I didn't take it, and then I was like talking to my wife. I was like, "I gotta know what's up," because me and Terry we've been riffing a little bit recently, and.
It's been a Cold War.
So I call him back, and as soon as I got off the phone, I was like, I really fucking shouldn't have done that. Now I'm even more worked up. Terry's got my number. I don't know what it is about him. All right, later, dude. Thanks, $2 Tony. Look what I'm super proud of this. We got this for $2 Tony, dude.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool,
like
dude?
that, yeah.
I was surprised at how available $2 bills are. Just got to ask for them.
They're
You just
legal
gotta ask
tender.
for 'em, yeah.
You just got to ask for them.
Going to the strip club and throwing $1,000 in $2 bills.
But it was weird, though, because I don't know. I only needed the one, but I felt weird asking for one. So I was like, give me 5 of them, I guess. And now I have 4 more $2 bills. I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give them to the kids for Christmas, you know? Like,
Yeah, because I remember
Christmas.
thinking like when I got $2 bill, I was like, "Well, this is like special."
seems like it's
this
more
is
than-
like
worth
yeah,
more
this
than-
is more than $2,
Kind of
right?
like copper at work.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, I'm making
There's
some
this-
money. It's probably like 45 cents in copper.
But
that
something
I just
about it. There's something about copper at work that
Yeah.
you're just like fucking jackpot.
Yeah, like we throw the cast iron and the fucking
But when
the
you hit-
galvanized away like it's nothing. You get copper.
Well, the thing is you kind of just do it and you get excited about it and then you build this pile and every couple of months I make a few $100, dude.
Yeah, I got a
all my
nice
copper.
pile at the house.
I don't clean it. I'm not into all that.
Yeah, you told me that. I was like, maybe I won't. I'm probably worth more
With
than
the
that.
brass, it's not worth it, dude. I don't think. I mean,
Not worth it to clean it.
yeah, it depends on your time. See, the thing is how much time do you have? If you're a single guy who's kind of hanging out, then maybe a couple hours. But like for me, I'd rather have that couple hours on Sunday with my kids, or there's a lot of shit to do in my house.
Yeah.
I have a big, beautiful home. It
Yeah.
takes so much fucking work, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I feel pretty busy a lot of time though too. Like I've recently started using a calendar, which I felt like I might be becoming an adult right now.
Yeah.
Like that I have things in my calendar like, what are you doing next week? And I'm like, oh, let me check my calendar. Not like, I don't know, nothing.
Is it on your phone or you have
Yeah. No, on my phone.
There you go.
I've tried the real calendar before. It just
My
doesn't.
wife's all about real calendars, dude. We have
Yeah.
one on the refrigerator, and she has a big paper one that's by the bed. She won't use her phone. It's weird for that. I
well.
don't understand.
I've been putting people's birthdays in there because otherwise
Oh,
I
I'm
fucking
I'm
forget
big.
them
I'll put it on in the
so
calendar. Your
easily.
birthday, yeah.
Yeah. Birthdays are fucking annoying.
Celebrating your birthday as an adult is
Pretty weird.
lame to me, I would say.
Damn, bro, I'm like a week celebration. I'm like, it's my birthday, bitch.
Well,
It's
this is-
about me. Let's
This
go.
is another thing that's happened to me in married life is
So you're not becoming an adult, is what you're saying.
regressing.
It's my birthday month, and you disrespect
Yeah,
me like
you
this.
disrespect me.
There's people out there, usually women, I guess, that really like to celebrate your birthday. That like not their birthday, your birthday. Like my wife.
It's about them though. It's about them
Sort
them
of.
getting the thank you and being like, I'm so
but
good
also,
at this.
I truly think she just enjoys making cakes.
Some people are
Fun
like
to make
acts of
cake.
service people, you know?
Yeah,
True.
it's their love language.
Yeah, that's their love language.
So she loves the idea of our family spending time together. So like
Quality
the idea
time. That's another love language.
Yeah, and
My
so,
love language is getting my dick sucked.
Where's that in that
Head.
book?
Yeah, right. Fucking missed one. I want to write a fucking letter to the editor, dude. I missed the
You're
big
leaving
one, bro.
people out.
I don't feel represented. Sorry. Go on.
Words of affirmation has been proven to be mine. I think that's a lot of guys. Like an attaboy, if I didn't need money so bad, I could operate on attaboys.
Here's some good words of affirmation. Do you want head? There's some good ones. Spending some quality time receiving head.
Yeah, so birthday parties, though, that's a way to get the family together and celebrate. So even if it's for dad, because I think it's ridiculous. I'm not interested in celebrating my birthday. I'm interested in celebrating my
Kids. Yeah.
and my anniversary of
there
my
you go.
sobriety. I do,
Well, that's in the same month for me too. So my
Yeah,
birthday's
mine's really
August, and then my anniversary's end of August.
Well, I
so
feel
I'm
like I
like,
earned that
August
one,
is
yeah.
my fucking month. So
yeah, right.
back
It's all
off.
yours.
you
Did
know?
you own
You're
it?
going to give me a parking ticket during my birthday month? It's Chase month.
What are you talking about? No tickets during Chase
Yeah.
month.
Dude, one thing that I loved, I think people probably do this everywhere, but in New Orleans, they would throw out raging birthday parties for like a 1-year-old. So they would have a bounce house and stuff for
yeah.
the kids, but then the adults would just be like turning up, like
Blowing
drinking
lines
liquor,
and shit.
smoking weed and shit.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to my friend, Sarai, and he's just drunk as hell at his kid's birthday party. We're like drinking Hennessy and stuff. And I was like, he's not going to remember this. And he goes, shit, neither am I, boy.
That's pretty good.
You ever had a surprise birthday thrown for you though?
No, I would freak out. I would draw my sidearm and start blasting, dude.
So right before I moved to Colorado, my girlfriend that I was going to be with out there threw one for me, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like walking into a room with like 20 of your closest best friends, and
you have 20,
and it's not
friends?
An intervention.
Well, that might have been an exaggeration. So like probably like 10 of my closest friends. I've been friends with these guys from high school, since high school. So, 12 years or something, some of them more. And like, we've just been friends that long, but like walking into a room with like all those people that you care about being there, like to surprise you on your birthday, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But then doing that for someone, I did that for my best friend when I was leaving Colorado. His birthday is July 4th, and we threw him a surprise party.
Yeah.
And that was it was cooler than having it thrown for me, like throwing the surprise party for somebody and like watching them when they walk in, like he's texting us all like, yo, we should play poker tonight. And we're like, I don't know, I'm a little tired and shit. And he comes in and then like all the boys are there and we're just like, what's up, bitch? Got you.
It is. I've been part of some, and it is very fun trying to startle the person.
Yeah.
Like my friend
to figure out.
Walked in and it's dark.
I should do one. Whose birthday's coming up? Oh, Buttheads. We should do Teresa one. Talk about somebody with no friends. Jesus.
You want to scare them to the point where they scream in shock, and then they get happy. That rapid shift in like your mental state of just being like, there's an intruder, to being like, oh, it's all my friends.
Dude, my friend's like at the door. He's like so drunk he can't unlock the door. We're all just sitting there like trying not to laugh because he's trying to come in the door. Yeah, and he was just like,
I wonder how
he was mad for a second. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing here? Oh shit,
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
like bad we don't want to play poker with him, and then. I wonder because we're having a party, bro.
I wonder how many times it's like backfired though. Like some guy like shows up with his mistress,
Ooh.
and it's like all this.
Yeah, well, mine backfired a little bit. My parents were like going through a divorce, and my dad had took me to dinner for my birthday, and I was like, "Well, do you want to come inside, Dad?" And my girlfriend's like, well, maybe not. And I was like, nah, man, come hang out for a little bit. Like we walked in and my mom's there and shit. And it was very tense for a little bit. So yeah, I definitely was on the end of a little bit of a backfire. Like,
that's the problem, right? There's so many variables or something like that. Usually you have to plan those.
My parents didn't talk for like 4 years after they got divorced.
Really?
Yeah. Well, also, have I talked about this on here before? My first girlfriend, when I was in like 8th grade,
was a man.
No, it was a girl. Oh. I guess I wouldn't know for sure because it didn't get that far. We like kissed one time, and then I got grounded for smoking weed for 3 months. And in those 3 months, my mom started dating her father, my girlfriend's father. And I never. And
so then you guys couldn't because it'd be
steps.
We never talked again. It was extremely.
You could get into that genre. You know what I mean? You guys could be on the tube.
It's quite popular.
It was devastating.
It's quite popular.
I was really mad at my mom.
You know what I was thinking about though, because we were talking about this earlier. That whole thing is actually, I think the porn and the self-abuse.
Yeah.
Is because
Self-abuse,
there's a lot of awareness surrounding that. It's not quite as popular as it was at one point. I think it's becoming more and more popular to be working on that, to working towards a positive thing. You know what I mean? Which is interesting to think about, that our culture might be like shifting towards more of like a wholesome attitude towards that type of behavior. What that maybe will do to the porn industry and to all like because the fact that there's like everyone knows about this joke about stepsister porn. That says something really fucked up.
It's like, why are we should maybe talk about this. Why is everybody making the joke but not talking about it?
The pendulum's swinging back, I think we're getting very close to a period in culture where sex is sort of healthy.
I don't think so. I think it'll just be increasingly polarized, where there will be some people who clamor for sex and more sex, and other people who who are more conservative about it. It's already kind of like that. There are people who are just like, fuck whoever. And there are people who are like, this is bad. You should have a Catholic marriage.
America. Smart people will get together, protect themselves and the ones they love, and everybody else is going to fucking get sick and die.
You can be smart and still be horny.
Yeah, well,
That's not the point that I'm making.
being horny and sleeping with each other is also not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about porn, and I'm talking about fetishized porn, and I'm talking about the popularity of fetishized porn. Like,
For sure.
I say personally, leave it in the fucking shadows where it belongs, but also there's like a time and a place for that type of thing, and that the fact that it got so popularized and so like everyone became so aware of it has created this new thing where like one of the most famous podcasts in the world, okay, half of his advertisements, Theo Vaughn's podcast, half his advertisements are for BetterHelp specifically for porn addiction.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
And the other half are for penis pills for people who have erectile dysfunction from
crazy,
the death grip from
too
jacking
much
off so
porn.
hard.
Maybe I just am a little more hopeful than you, Tony.
Yeah.
You're a little more cynical, which is weird because I'm older than you, and you would think I would be more cynical.
I mean, I do think that there's like younger people who have been raised with this shit in their face for a long time and are starting to catch on that it's not good. But there are other
the
people
youth
that
always revolts, right?
Sure.
So are they going to start
just don't think it's
revolting
gonna be-
against?
Yeah, there's just some people doing that, but I don't think it's going to be like a unified front on it. The thing is also there's people on both sides, but there's conservative young people who are obviously like, this is a sin. And then there's like liberal young people who are like, this is bad because it objectifies women and messes with, healthy images of sexuality.
Well, my stance on it really is like, I don't know. I'm just like, dude, have you ever had sex? Because it's so much better than the porn. Like, what are you so fucking locked in on this thing for? Like, the real thing's better, bro.
There has to be another person there, and we've been increasingly programmed to isolate ourselves and to like, people are less socially comfortable being one-on-one in person with somebody. They can text and talk to them on Discord or whatever all day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about people younger than you and I, because you and I are about the same age.
Yeah.
But people that like grew up with the iPad,
That's
having an actual girl there with, she's more complicated than just looking at the Japanese hentai.
Yeah, there's a lot of work getting the dial-up going and, making sure you could clear the history back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to download, you would download like a JPEG of boobs from LimeWire, and it would take 45 minutes, and you'd look at it and then jack off to it and then delete it and then repeat the process.
Yeah, man. I don't know. The idea of like,
The good old days.
like, okay, so OF, right, is such a fucking trap. It's like 2% of the girls on
crazy.
that make 90% of the income.
Yeah,
so there's
yeah.
all these young women going there.
2%
really make
of the
shit.
pussies making 90% of the income.
And so think about this, okay? So a girl goes there seeing some influencer that she likes making $40 million a month or some crazy number that gets thrown around. That's total fucking bullshit, by the way, not real. Yeah. This is OnlyFans company saying this information. It's not these people. These people are sponsored by OF, so they tell these fucking lies. So this girl, not only does she now not making any money, she has now put her entire fucking self out there. Think about the negative psychological consequence of that, of thinking that first of all, that you're gonna be financially secure with your body, and they could be fairly attractive. It's just not. It didn't work out. The algorithm didn't work out for her, and now her self-image is fucking shot because she made $100.
The average lifespan of a porn star is 40 years.
Yeah. Okay.
They just kill themselves.
Yeah. But those are people. Porn stars are people that made the effort to move to the fucking parts of the world and actually film the things and be a part of the production. So that was still took a little bit of drive. This is just girls that have phones.
Yeah,
It's fucking
an
crazy.
ex-girlfriend
It's like-
of mine does it, and she makes like good money, but I think she's built for it. She's not gonna have this like scar on her. I think there's a lot of girls that think they're built for it and go and try it, and then will realize it later. But
that's what I mean.
hey, there's some girls that are built for it. They don't give a fuck,
I think like whacking off and the difference between like J-O-ing and sex, that's going to be an age-old thing. It's going to continue, but like something like super dangerous is happening with the selling of sex being available to every single person in the way that it is. You know what I mean? Like so this new model of porn that exists where it's user driven and it's available to everyone all the time. It really kind of really fucks up the like mindset towards like sex and towards like self-worth. And that I think that something's going to change. I don't know if it's going to be quite like this huge, massive like shift and everyone's going to be, practice moral turpitude. But I do think that it got
turpitude
so bad. Yes, that's a real one. You can fucking check me up on that.
You used it right.
Yeah. He loves catching me. He does catch me sometimes.
He does use big fancy fucking words a lot, doesn't he?
Well, sometimes I use them incorrectly.
Yeah, but you just walk it off like you used it right.
Charisma can go a long way when you're talking shit.
Trust me, brother.
But I got a fucking guy over here. He keeps me on my toes. I like it. He actually asked me one day. He asked me one day if I was cool with it. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Keep it coming, please. I've been misusing prolific for a while, and I was not. What's fucked up is once you said
a lot of really prolific stuff.
Yeah, man. I know, dude. And what's funny is once he's brought it up, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I do know that. I just didn't. I was just saying it wrong anyway because I like the way that it sounded.
Yeah.
So whatever. Shakespeare fucking used words all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he added syllables. It's called iambic pentameter. So whatever. For the sake of the prose.
Fucking owned me, man. Jimmy Shakespeare. Jimmy Shakespice. Yeah. I like it.
So since you saw the amphibious, what do we call them?
Creature.
Salt seats?
Slee stacks. Yeah. Can't believe you've never seen that, Land of the Lost. It used to be a TV show.
I've heard of it. I maybe know what
Will Ferrell did it with like Will Ferrell and the other funny dude.
They kind of look like the some shit in this old French movie. What's that old fucking man? I just watched that on HBO recently. Our Planet something. Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to remember this. But so no further encounters for you in your life.
No, like.
Have you joined any like groups? Have you gone on Reddit and
No,
shared your
I've
experience?
avoided it because it's so real to me. I don't need to dive any deeper. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's a lot of people that
Fantastic Planet. Holy fuck, I remembered it. Sorry. Fantastic Planet. There's a creature. Have you ever seen this movie?
No.
Continue. I'm sorry.
But I feel like there's a lot of people that were the same as me. They wish they could see them, and they dive deep into these Reddits, and they search, and then I feel like after seeing them, I'm good. I don't need to search anymore. They scared the fuck out of me. Very similar. Yeah, I would
Fantastic
say.
Planet.
It also could be a thing. Like you made this, you said, when I talk about them, you have dreams about it more often or what?
Yeah, or I feel their presence at night or like, I just feel weird. Sometimes I get goosebumps whenever I talk about them, like just these different things. So like I avoid it.
I'm very into the idea of like a being that the more it's discussed, the more real it becomes.
Just like fucking demons, dude. Like when you're like doing like exorcism stuff, like when that focuses on them, when that focuses on them, the power is given to them.
For sure. And I'm also partial to...
So now that I've had to talk about this tonight, I'll probably be...
You're going to get visited.
Of course. Let's drum it up,
So if you don't see me tomorrow, fucking just know they took me. They fucking took me.
I mean, I'm partial to the interdimensional thesis about this, which is the idea that like what are referred to as demons and stuff in ancient religions are these same interdimensional beings that we call aliens, Yeah,
I'm
and
with
part
that.
of that could be this thing of like they operate on an emotional wavelength where they're empowered by your belief in them or whatever. It's a metaphysical thing. It's not based in matter.
So when we were talking interdimensional, are we talking multiverse?
No.
Okay, good.
That's crap.
Yes, thank you.
Things happen and it only happens the one way. There's other ways it could happen, but it didn't happen that way.
The multiverse theory is super frustrating.
I just don't buy into it.
No, I feel like science theory is like the idea of one is that to help explain things, and that is not what the fucking multiverse theory does. All it does is make things more complicated.
Yeah, and I think
it's like it's not means to an end. It's just like, oh yeah, by the way, there's infinite fucking possibilities of infinite possibilities. It's like, fuck you, man. That doesn't help. That's not helpful at all.
I think it's comforting for people whose life sucks, and they're like, well, there's another world in which I got promoted to the manager.
Got laid that one time.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a world in which I don't goon myself into oblivion.
Yeah, exactly.
My brain.
There's a world where me and Asa Akira are actually dating.
Is that a reference to anime?
She's a prawn star.
Oh, okay.
From back in the day. I'm not up on all this new stuff, I've been out of the game for several years.
Remember Jenna Jameson. Jenna Jameson was one from my era.
Sure, she was a big deal.
Christy Mack.
She got beat up. Both of them got beat up by MMA fighters. That's wild. Those are the two you picked.
Well, I mean, I'm sure this. You could probably throw a rock and hit a porn star that's been beat up by
an MMA fighter.
Yeah, I mean, just go to.
But why would you throw a rock and hit her? She's already been through so much. It's mean.
Are you? So how's it, dude? We talk shop a little bit. Let's talk shop a little bit.
Okay.
All right, we got about 10 minutes.
I sold a big job this week that Chase is going to handle, dude. How'd it go on Friday?
Sick.
Oh man, it fucking went. I was there till like 6:30. Yeah, because they sent me there and they just told me all the wrong shit to do at first, and then they wanted me to move the PFV.
Who's they?
Dennis wanted me to move the PFV or
PVB for the
sprinklers, like coming out of the basement instead of coming right off the line for the house. He wanted it to go in the basement, come out the side of the house because it looks better. And I get it, but like I didn't understand. I mean, I'm just starting to go out on my own, so there's a lot of like learning for me. And so then Todd came and he
changed the plan.
He explained it to me really well, and then I realized I needed a lot of 1-inch stuff, and I had a lot of 3/4 because you get up to the house and you go down to 3/4. So I needed to get up to the house, stay in 1-inch, keep going 1-inch all the way to this sprinkler thing, come back in, and then get to 3/4. So it took me like till 1 to get started. Like we had the trench dug and
Are you gonna wrap it up? Are you gonna finish that job yourself?
I hope so.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
too.
I'm not intimidated by it. I mean, the rest of the repipe is pretty straightforward. I know that we're like doing some draining changes there, so we'll see. He said Monday he'll let me know if I'm gonna stay there or not. But
Okay.
it's cool. I love, like, man, you gotta think, dude. When you're on your own, there's not like looking to the guy who's in charge and like, so what do we do?
Yeah.
It's like, I look to my left, look to the right. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I have to be the guy that's like, what do we do now?
You're the captain now.
Well, I bring it up for two reasons because it was a big kind of sale for me, so that was good. Like for me, and I was stoked when I heard you were doing it. I kind of just assumed that another guy was doing it because Aaron normally does.
Yeah.
And like you'd been training him for a while, so I was like, fuck yeah, Chase has got it. And
Yeah.
also, I don't get paid until you finish, bro. So I need you to fucking
you need me to
turn
finish.
it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Cool. Sweet. And speaking of that, I actually got a job coming through. Let's see. Was there anything else that we were thinking about? I know I'm gonna forget some shit. Mac Miller, you're a big Mac Miller fan.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I heard that fucking a specifically unnamed group that we are all aware of is doing a singing competition soon.
Yeah.
Our boy Tony
Yeah.
throwing down.
I'm getting up there.
I thought it was
I
completely.
need the Jimmy Spice fan army to come through.
Yes, you
To
do.
support
We're
me.
getting fucking 30 downloads an episode, dog.
Yeah, it's 30 more people than you thought.
June 14th at the Portico.
I was gonna do, but before I understood what the actual format was, so it's not gonna work. I was gonna bring my guitar and do an acoustic version of "Small Worlds." Mm-hmm. You know the Mac Miller song?
Yeah.
On swimming.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Love that song.
What? Yeah, he didn't even know it.
Yeah, it's such a good song.
He says he's a
yeah,
Mac
I have
Miller
swimming
fan.
tattooed on my chest. Yeah,
That's such a great.
Oh, we didn't get into.
Great
We're not
song.
gonna have time, but my theory about Mac Miller being killed by the Clinton crime family.
Is this it?
I don't even know about that, dude.
Okay.
I know that I read the transcripts of him texting with his drug dealer, and that motherfucker was gonna die that night. Like, he ordered a bunch of pills and a bunch of coke from one dealer, who ended up like kind of flagging on him. So he ordered a bunch of pills and a bunch of coke from another one. The one showed up with it, and then 20
He sent
minutes.
a girl with it.
Sent a girl with it, a hooker with it, and 20 minutes later, the original drug dealer texted him back, hey, I got caught up, I can come through now. And just like fucking a lot of us, dude, like I put myself in his shoes, like I would have said okay too. I would have, I've got the 15 fucking blues and the 8-ball of coke, and then now my other guy just said I've got 15 more and another 8-ball. And to be honest with you, I'd say come on. I've done it before.
Yeah, why not?
I've done it before, and it's
More is better.
yeah, like, oh, this isn't enough. And it's like, yeah, dude, it happened to be enough. And dude, I remember where I was at when I heard that he died.
Yeah.
Like,
I had just gotten sober.
Yeah.
I was literally like first 6 months of sober.
Really?
Yeah.
I was far from it, but yeah. I got this swimming tattoo on me because that album is a lot about him dealing with like mental health and his addiction and everything.
2009 and all that.
Yeah, 2009, probably one of my favorite songs. Actually, great song. And
that's the best NPR Tiny Desk by miles.
Yeah, I have that one on vinyl.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
And I just had a thing where like I went to the hospital for doing some really dumb shit, man. And when I got out, I got the swimming tattooed on me because I don't know, just always felt like Mac like fucking spoke my life and a lot of things I went through.
He's got a hella theory that we were gonna dig into this, and we were actually wanting to do a whole episode about that.
It's stupid though.
Yeah, well,
it's a theory based on. Basically, I saw that Pete Davidson has a Hillary Clinton tattoo of her face, and I was like, why would he do that? And then I was like, oh, it's because he's a deep state agent. Ariana Grande, obviously in the CIA. Her concert got blown up. That was a false flag. She was recruited during her time at Nickelodeon by Dan Schneider. If you don't know about him, pretty bad guy. Big Democratic Party donor. And it doesn't make any sense, but I got really geeked up and like typed this 2,000 word thing about it on Reddit, and people were like, this checks out, like on the conspiracy subreddit, just being like, it's just a picture of like Bill Clinton with Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. And I've just never liked Pete Davidson.
Hate him, dude. Can't stand him.
Yeah, and he was like sending dick pics to Mac Miller, being like, "This is what your girl's getting now, man." He's being mean to him.
It's like, dude, Mac's like a 5'7",
he's a sweet guy,
little Jewish boy. Like he don't got that. You know
need
what
to
I
be
mean?
sending your pipe pics to Mac Miller.
Yeah,
that's low key.
Pete Davidson, you're fucking
uncool.
supermodels, dude. You know he's working with something.
I hate
It's not
him.
that funny.
And his dad died in 9/11, so I'm telling you, bro, he's an
Air
operative.
quotes 9/11.
Air quoted 9/11.
Well, no one actually died in 9/11.
I think air quote 9/11 is a fucking perfectly good endings point.
Yeah, we could title it that also.
Well, this is one of my favorite movies, dude, and it's been great having you, Chase. We'll have you plenty, man. I'm
thank you,
sure.
man.
We're gonna
Appreciate
keep
it.
doing this.
Put him in the
and
rotation.
We're gonna throw you in the rotation. We'll have some serious Mac Miller conversation next too. Rest in power and
Sorry I couldn't be here for the first half.
thank you.
That's all right, brother.
Thank you for fucking doing this, and thank you for picking a good movie. And $2 Tony, you got anything else?
Just thank you for laying pipe.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
And thanks everybody for listening. Adios.
Peace.